your forecast first. Sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Hey everybody, thanks for hanging out here with us on this Friday night where it is chilly once again out there. We had some cloud cover, and actually it looked like it was raining at one point, but it was not, as a lot of that rain that was falling on the radar was evaporating by the time it hit the ground. And now we've just got cold conditions. 37 in Champaign and Springfield. You've got 39 in Effingham. Winds no longer a factor right now, but they will become a factor for tomorrow as the winds crank. Highs back up in the mid-upper 60s, maybe near 70, but a frost advisory. It's going to be chilly. More about those strong gusty winds in the forecast when we come back. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now on WCIA 3 News.
Outdoor dining helped restaurants this summer. Now colder weather means more changes and costs. Plus, fires burned fields earlier this week. What fire departments are asking to keep it from happening again.
And it's good news for people who want local farm fresh foods. How you can get it delivered right to your doorstep.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 10.
Winter is coming and things are changing.
Some restaurants are converting their indoor dining rooms to adapt to the COVID-19 regulations for businesses. They have to do more to stay open now that the weather is getting colder. Good evening, I'm Jessica Coons.
I'm Paul Cicchini. Summer is over, and that means outdoor seating will soon no longer be an option. Restaurants are now making changes to indoor space to keep customers safe during the pandemic. WCIA 3's Jennifer Jensen is live in Champaign. So, Jennifer, you spoke to several business owners today. What have adjustments been like for them?
Paul, restaurant owners say they've been navigating all of the changes to the COVID-19 guidelines since the start of the pandemic. But as outdoor patio seating comes to an end, there are much more costs involved with staying compliant with those safety regulations. The temperature is dropping. Restaurants are turning on outdoor heaters for customers who decide to brave the cold. But as businesses begin to close their patio seating, Joe Meeker says he doesn't think he'll go inside restaurants during winter.
Restaurants are doing a really good job with trying to mitigate the risk for COVID. But it's still a little scary.
For those who do choose to eat indoors, restaurants are preparing to keep them safe during the pandemic.
I installed plexiglass barriers between the booths to create COVID-free zones, so to speak.
Alan Strong, owner of Courier Cafe in Urbana, has made several adjustments to the indoor dining space.
We installed double HEPA filters, so we've got 4 HEPA filtration systems, and the ventilation system runs constantly to keep air moving through.
Similarly, Farron's Pub in Champaign installed a UV filtration system inside after closing their outdoor seating. All these safety measures have come at a steep price for restaurant owners.
Our costs have gone up and our sales have gone down, and that's not a formula for success. It just doesn't work. So we're just trying to get through it.
Prior to preparing for the winter months, the summer brought its own financial challenges during the pandemic.
I ordered a tent and we converted our parking lot into an outside dining space.
That cost about $5,000 per month to keep up. But customers at Courier Cafe have taken notice of the extra effort. Strong says he hopes these adjustments will make customers feel more comfortable coming inside to eat.
Whether or not all these measures in the end turn out to have been what they were supposed to be, I don't know. But my point right now is to do whatever we can do to make our guests feel safe.
Also in high demand going into those winter months are those large outdoor patio heaters. Lots of hardware stores in central Illinois say they're either sold out or are in low stock because people have been buying them out so quickly going into that colder weather to prepare for that. Live in Champaign, I'm Jennifer Jensen, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Obviously, incredible lengths to keep the business open and keep customers safe. It all makes sense, but just a huge burden on everyone. Jennifer, thanks. The food pantry outside the Champaign City building was raided and vandalized. Canned goods, clothing, and toiletries were thrown on the ground, as you see, and in the public trash cans nearby. Now, the group that runs it says they're in the process of filing a police report. They're requesting to review the security camera footage of the area around the city building.
A crash between a bus and two cars in Decatur sent several people to the hospital this morning. It happened at the intersection of Oakland and McKinley. Police say the bus did not properly yield. One car tried to avoid crashing into the bus, but the bus drove over it instead, causing that car to crash into another vehicle. The bus then drove into a tree line. No one was seriously hurt. That bus driver was ticketed. And part of Mattis Avenue is blocked in Champaign right now. There was a crash just south of the intersection near Bradley Avenue this evening. No word yet if anyone was hurt, but those northbound lanes are currently closed. U of I police are investigating after a student had his identity hacked for thousands of dollars. Police say someone used the student's name, birthday, and social security number to buy a cell phone contract. The student discovered the identity theft when he found a credit report that showed he owed over $7,000 to that phone company.
A school district says it's dealing with cyber attacks. There have been several DDoS attacks since the Cerro Gordo School District went remote. The increased traffic can overwhelm a website, and it's disrupting students' ability to do work online. The superintendent says they're working with a company to limit those attacks. Changes at Decatur schools means 300 staffers will no longer belong to the district. Now, they all work in special education, and administrative change means their employer will now be Macon Pyatt Special Education. Switching employers will cost Decatur thousands in legal fees. The two groups couldn't see eye to eye about which would continue handling the financials and employing special education programs. Decatur pulled out of the previous agreement in June.
Now for a follow-up from the state, there continues to be a massive backlog to get a FOID card. Right now, people with expired FOID cards have an extension. They have another 18 months after the emergency order is lifted to renew them. But that does not apply to those applying for new cards. The owner of Personal Firearm Sales and Service in Champaign, John Bishop, says some customers are waiting around 6 months, and it's hard to get a hold of anyone to help them.
Since this emergency shutdown order that the governor's issued, I can't get a hold of anybody in the FOID department if I have an issue. If I have an issue, if anything, I have to get a hold of my ATF agent and have him send an email to the state police.
On top of that, it's hard for manufacturers to keep up with the demand. Bishop says a lot of guns and ammunition are out of stock. 6 staff members and an inmate at the Sangamon County Jail have tested positive for COVID-19. The sheriff locked down the jail because of the outbreak. No visitors are allowed, and there is limited interaction with inmates. Several staff members are also quarantining following exposure to the other officers during a prisoner transfer.
Staff, we had 4 of them on transport together. They were in the same vehicle, so we actually had 1 of those test positive, and the other 4 are out due to the exposure.
The staff members who were exposed were transferring inmates to Statesville Correctional Center. The sheriff notified the Department of Corrections, and those inmates will be quarantined before going to the facility.
New at 10, more than 30 people tested positive at Lincoln's Challenge Academy in Rantoul. The Illinois National Guard says 29 cadets and 5 staff members have COVID-19. They're being isolated on the academy's campus. 97 cadets attend that academy. Everyone on that campus is now being tested. Rising COVID numbers in one county and a handful of cases of parvo forced that animal shelter to close to the public. The Vermilion County Animal Shelter is now by appointment only. It had 2 cases of parvo this week, and it's trying to minimize contact among the animals. They don't want to bring in new dogs unless absolutely necessary. The disease is highly contagious in dogs. Animal control will reopen to the public next week, but adoptions will remain by appointment for the foreseeable future because of COVID.
Christian and Montgomery counties continue to see a spike in COVID cases. Christian County's current positivity rate is over 10%. Montgomery County is about 5%. The Public Health Department held a news conference today to ask the community to do better when following mitigation measures.
We understand the economic importance to the parties involved. Unfortunately, these factors should never supersede the importance of our community's health and safety.
Both counties are at a warning level, but the state will not intervene until the entire region is above warning level, and Region 3's positivity rate is sitting above 6% right now. Region 6 is getting dangerously close to the warning level. It's at 7.4% positivity rate, just 0.6% away from the 8% threshold. The state's positivity rate has also increased to 5.1%. More than 4,500 new cases were announced today for a total of more than 336,000. 38 more people died, including 2 women in Christian County, 2 women in Clay County, and a woman from Sangamon County. More than 9,100 people have died across Illinois.
The World Health Organization says the drug remdesivir has little or no effect on severe cases of COVID-19. The WHO did a study on the antiviral drug and found it helps kill the virus in its early stages. It was first developed to use against Ebola. A doctor at St. Mary's in Decatur says he plans to continue using it because it reduces the amount of time patients spend in the hospital.
If you're sick and in the hospital, having 5 days less of hospitalization and less of suffering is a huge positive benefit, and that led to our use.
He says he's skeptical about the way the WHO did the study. He says it's most important the drug is used on patients in the early stages of the virus. If not, it will not work as well.
You've probably heard of food delivery services, how one is helping area farmers get their products to you.
Plus, if you're considering burning leaves this weekend, you want to think again why you could end up burning more than that.
And Illinois transfers have made a big impact on the football field, how they could soon do it even faster.